Psychic Mist Paranormal Network.
Hi, this is Shar with Psychic Mist. A lot of people have been coming to me lately with issues about dark energy, so I thought I'd address some of that today. If you are going to be involved in any kind of paranormal work, and this includes psychic work and magic and witchcraft, then sooner or later you are going to come across negative energies and entities. Sure, there are ways to protect yourself, but they're not always going to work. The universal laws hold you responsible for your own actions, and those actions could negate some or all of your protection. Also, the deeper you get into these fields, the more likely it is that you will encounter the negative. At this point, a whole lot more than just your normal protection is going to be needed. About 20 years ago, the odds of you running into a true evil or demonic entity was pretty rare. This is unfortunately not the case anymore. The odds are much higher now. This isn't because the veil is getting thinner. It's because there's a much higher rate of humans awakening to the true evil in this world. The more people who snap out of their fetal trance, the harder the dark side has to work to keep you contained. They do this in a plethora of ways, but this is a long and complex subject for another time. My purpose is to educate you a little bit so that you can become more aware and hopefully prevent these dark encounters. Also, I'm hoping to assist you in ridding yourself of these negative energies when you do encounter them. For the novice or someone who is just out for a little bit of adventure or a new hobby, I have good news and bad news. If you take the time to learn about your field of interest before actively participating, and you at least learn the basics of psychic protection, then you have pretty good odds of staying clear of dark energy. On the opposite side of that coin, a novice faces their own risk of danger. Before I get into that more, I just want to say that everything I talk about for novices to seasoned light warriors can apply to all. Nothing in the paranormal is foolproof, so basically you're always taking some kind of risk. How deep that risk is depends on what you do to prevent it and the various variables that are involved with what you are doing. You can do everything right and do it the best you can, but you still could find yourself with an unwelcome leech. A novice faces the danger of unintentionally attracting the attention of dark energy. Even with psychic protection put in place, you still emit a beacon of light that permeates through to the astral and spiritual worlds. This beacon contains the book of who you are. Entities can literally read you from your beacon, and depending what entity finds you, they can dig into your deepest, darkest secrets. Demons do this all the time. Your beacon also emits signals that act as energetic magnets, and that attracts energies just like your own. This means that if you are a miserable or negative person, you will attract energies that match that signature. These energies are highly attracted to your negative thoughts and beliefs, so it's important to try to keep positive at all times. And if you're a negative type of person, then it's very important to try to work on changing the way you think. Even if you are skilled at shielding your energy, your beacon will still be on public display. Your beacon connects you to the field of everything, so you don't want to cut yourself off from that. There are ways to add protection so that these entities pass you by, but these are advanced techniques. So it's not just your beacon of light that you have to worry about. Your actions play a big role, as does knowledge. I've always said that knowledge is power, and this is so true when it comes to the paranormal. When engaging in the paranormal, there can never be too many precautions. The problem with a lot of people, especially the very new and very experienced, is that time goes by, you're doing your thing, everything is going along great, no real issues, nothing too frightening going on, so you drop your guard and maybe you're a little too lenient with your protection if you're even using it at all, and you might start getting a little cocky with the ghosts. At this point, your beacon is screaming, "Here I am! Come and get me!" The longer you're involved in the paranormal, the deeper you usually dig. And the deeper you dig, the deeper you'll find. Or another issue is that energies can begin building up around you, just waiting for you to give them the opportunity to pounce. You need to accommodate more experience with more knowledge and deeper protection methods. At this point, it can turn into a cycle where you keep getting more involved and gain a greater risk. The good news is that most people seem to top out at a level that feels comfortable to them. They just have to make sure that they keep their protection up and their egos in check. Here are some do's and don'ts. Do always respect the entities, even dark ones. Do always use psychic protection. Always. Do only what you feel comfortable with. Do a full energy cleansing according to the amount of paranormal work that you are involved with. Please do keep in mind that your family can inadvertently become involved in a dark matter. Do work to improve your thoughts and your outlook. Here's a tidbit of information. Exorcists in training must do self-improvement work and energy clearing before they can go out into field training. They do this because it can be dangerous to work with dark entities if your closet's not cleaned out, so to speak. Do always know where your psychic information is coming from. With your psychic protection in place, be very specific about what entity you want to work with. If you are just starting out, you can ask for your spirit guide or an angel of the light. Remember, there are angels of the dark. You should only work with one entity until you are 99.99% sure that they are who they say they are. I say 99% because nothing in the paranormal is ever 100%, not even close. A true entity of the light will not get angry or feel hurt because you're making them prove their trust. It's what you should do. It is very easy for a dark entity to disguise itself as your spirit guide, a relative, or even Archangel Michael. A light entity of higher vibration cannot become possessed by any entity that dwells within a lower vibration. If you have a great relationship with your guide for many years, and then they change suddenly, you can bet it's not your guide. A guide or a true being of the light will never talk to you inappropriately or tell you to harm yourself or anybody else. They'll never tell you anything harmful. So if you find that your guide is acting weird, a loophole was breached somewhere. Spirit guides can lose contact with you because they can become blocked if you have negative energy surrounding you. Do follow your gut feelings and pay attention and look for signs. Do expect the unexpected. The paranormal is certainly the place for the unexpected. Now here's some don'ts. Don't be disrespectful. Treat entities the way you would want to be treated. Dark entities will be more than happy to treat you with disrespect, so don't aggravate them. Believe me, don't do it. Dark entities have an advantage over you right from the start. They can usually see you, hear you, and many times they even know what you're thinking. And sometimes they even know what you're going to do before you do it. Don't get discouraged. Ghost investigations aren't like they are on TV or dramatic YouTube channels. Sure, the shit could hit the fan, but you'll probably get a tour of the moon or age 30 years before that happens. Most ghost investigations are very uneventful, or maybe some minor things might occur. Serious investigators usually don't scream and run out the door. That's for entertainment. Don't get me wrong, crazy stuff can and will happen, but on the whole, you'll get your best scare when you review your footage and your audio. Psychic work takes a long time to build your skills, so just keep persevering and you will make progress. Magic is like building your skills to a new level, but most people dismiss magic and witchcraft as just stuff from the movies. But think again. Magic has its own stigmas to go with it, and its own dangers. If you are going to partake in this paranormal field, start slow and be sure that you're well versed in both the psychic and paranormal worlds. Be sure that you can tell one entity from another very easily. Be absolutely certain that you can handle a negative entity, even if it's just white magic. Don't rush to get results. You'll get the opposite. Don't conduct or participate in any paranormal work if you are tired, depressed, under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or angry, any negative emotion. Stay away until you feel better. That will just attract negativity. Your beacon will be sending out tenfold signals of, come and get me, here I am, target. Don't get in over your head. It's better to be safe than sorry. If you have someone that you know that's experienced and they can train you the right way, then please do this. And notice I said the right way. Don't create karma for yourself. Unfortunately, karma is real, and everything you do, even your words, can bring karma to you, and you don't want any of that. There's also something called a karmic stamp. It's kind of like a karmic curse, and it's something you can find yourself faced with if you're not careful and you're messing around where you shouldn't be. Karmic stamps are worse than just earning yourself regular karma. Only certain entities can hand out a karmic stamp, and those entities endure reprisal attacks. Due to the dangerous nature of karmic stamps, I won't say anything more. Do not utilize psychic techniques without being proficient at energy manipulation. Don't go into intermediate or advanced paranormal or psychic work without learning to defend and break curses, hexes, jinxes, etc. I've had several encounters with this type of dark energy. Do not take this lightly, as it is not cut and dry procedure to break a curse, especially if a dark entity is involved. Do not extend invitations. There are many forms and types of dark energy, but the worst of them, demonic energies, they need an invitation to ruin your life. I know, who's going to purposely invite a demon to wreak havoc in your life? You would be surprised how many things are considered an invitation by a demon. Like, they look for loopholes too, such as, hey, can you turn on this flashlight? Any interaction with a demon could be considered an invitation. You may not plan on playing with demons, but anywhere you go could have one or more demons in the vicinity. Demons have a hierarchy, and they oversee their territories. If you give them the slightest loophole, they will devour it. Do not act superior to an entity. Good entities will be offended or hurt, but negative entities will retaliate. Even if the thought of an intelligent and powerful evil entity doesn't scare you off, you should still think twice, unless you don't have one person in this world that you care about. Demons love to play with their prey, and they know what all of your weaknesses are. The moral of the story is, if you love your family, don't get big with a demon. That simple. Several types of dark energy that can latch on to you, and you don't even have to be involved in the paranormal. Check out my video on paranormal psychic dust bunnies for more information about things like dark energy groups and thought forums. If you are working with magic or witchcraft, then you could come across things like familiars and servitors. Don't ignore the paranormal golden rule, which is there are no rules. Nothing in the paranormal has a constant. Anything could happen at any time. Also, there are worlds within worlds and existences within existences in both the macro and micro multiverse. And that's not to mention what comes from outside of the multiverse. Do not go into a dark or demonic haunting unless you have already had professional training and lots of field experience with an expert, period. Do not engage in magic rituals, summoning, etc. unless you know advanced protection and know exactly who and what you are working with. Do not forget to be specific when asking for an entity. For example, if you are asking for an angel, make sure you specify whether you want an angel of the light or an angel of the dark. If you say, "Can I have an angel, please?" you might get Lucifer, unless that works for you. Do not utilize psychic tools unless you know exactly who you're working with and know how to raise your energy signature. This would be tools like Ouija boards, tarot cards, pendulums, scrying items, and seances. Do not wait to get help. If you think that you are being stalked, spied on, or hijacked by a negative entity, don't wait around to get rid of it. The longer you wait, the stronger it gets, and the harder it is to get rid of it. Do not underestimate how truly frightening and disturbing the dark side can be. Once you've witnessed it, you won't be the same. Keep in mind that it is true that the more psychic energy that is present, the more entities that will gather. This means that if you do a lot of paranormal work, expect more entities to come calling. This subject is something that I could literally talk about for hours and hours, as it is not only extensive, but each person will experience their own individual, unique experiences. Even things like atmospheric conditions and just simply being in the wrong place at the right time can have varying degrees of implications. So now you are empowered with tools to keep you safe from the dark forces. Thank you for watching. This is Shar with Psychic Mist. Stay safe in the dark.